Kuro returns to VTubing with a huge collab with K9Kuro, the reason why Nijisanji was so good in the early days and became bad after Riku, and so many more stories today on this episode of VTuber News. This is Quinn saying that he was, he is, as we all know, someone who was from Nijisanji, and here's him saying what he has to say about Nijisanji themselves. This is the intro, by the way.
Patient 14 is fully conscious.
Matara-kan is there.
Notify the doctor immediately. I just called your doctor. He'll be here right away.
How long have I been here?
A little over a year.
What?
Damn.
I was so worried about you. I'm glad to see
Kami,
you okay.
Kami,
Hey guys,
Kamigu, and Mika.
Quinn, how are you feeling?
How are you feeling, Quinn?
I'm alright. Feel like I woke up from some weird dream world. It was like I had a whole other life that slowly turned into some nightmare. I guess that's what woke me up.
Yep, he did just say that. Let's hear that again.
Turned into some nightmare. I guess
Let's hear that again.
Dream world. It was like I had a whole other life that slowly turned into some nightmare. I guess that's what woke me up.
So he is throwing shade at Nijisanji immediately afterwards, and Nijisanji can't do anything about it because he didn't mention their name. He didn't directly mention anything that's going on. He didn't, he just alluded to what he was going through before was a bit of a nightmare, and that is insane. That is just wonderful. And yeah, he has Matara-kan there, because as we know, Matara-kan is a good friend of the person that Quinn was in Nijisanji. And also, we know Mika was really close to him as well. And that's why they're in the video. It's not that he's in V-shoujo. It's not that he's in anything like that. It's just that basically he's woke me up and he's in a freaking nightmare.
I guess that's
he's
life that
suddenly turned into the nightmare. So he suddenly got turned into a nightmare. And that is what woke him up. That is exactly what woke him up. So there we go. There we go. There we have it. So didn't know. Kyo is Quinn. Quinn is Kyo. They're all the same. He graduated and is now as Quinn. Quinn has been doing some kind of things to kind of do little stabbies at the Nijisanji peoples and be like, yeah, I woke up from a nightmare. The fact that he was saying also during his debut, look at how much I can move, man. I'm not used to this. Which kind of is like shooting the shot at Nijisanji not having the best of Live 2D in those things. You know what I mean? And now he's going to have a collab. Well, he is already doing his collab by now. I think by the time that this person did it, they already did a collab with K9Kuro. K9Kuro being, of course, another alum, I guess you would call it, of the Nijisanji Black Company, Mr. Rias. So they had talked a while back. I think they had talked maybe 2 weeks ago or so, maybe a little bit more, if my timing is right in my head. They talked about, possibly doing collabs together, since they had never collabed before. Wink, wink, hint, hint. They had never done these things before. That's what they were going for. So yeah, they're going to be doing it with an old friend. Let's see what people responded with. Kuro likes him. Interesting. Yes, Kuro does like him. It seems like, at least, in this whole thing. And here's more. Here's a little bit more here. And Matara, unnamed, which is Usan, Kami, etc. Mostly because they are all friendly people like everyone by default, even if that person has flaws. Every big name in the VTuber community literally knows everyone in that sphere. They are all connected, whether that be through the direct contact, friend of a friend, work in the same company, in the same Discord. They all know the other person. They've been in the scene long enough to know the other person, which makes sense. There are also some within Niji that deem to be the bad guys. You don't have to like your content creator friends. Just for an example, a lot of guys I am a fan for are friends with Destiny. I think Destiny is unredeemable. C number, and he was a part of SCBW and SC2. Let's stay respectful regardless. I'll admit it, just looking at the small preview of the image made me think I was collabing with Batman. Someone thought they were collabing with Batman. Last thing I'm gonna read. They're all part of the Nijisanji Survivors Network with unnamed Matara, Kuro, Kami, Deerskin, dokibird, pronounced deerskin. And now Quinn, Sayu is one of the most from EN that remains unconnected, but maybe they will change. And some are more connected than others. So far, dokibird has the only collab with unnamed. That appears to have given unnamed a hell of a signal boost. Matara appears to be the one doing the most networking, perhaps since she was the maternal instincts. That could be very true. She was the mama of the group. And I do agree that can sometimes bring a lot more people. And that can make it so that she has a lot more connections. People talking about, Ichikara's COO, Chief Operations Officer, way back in the day, I guess, about, good people not being there, I guess is what it is all about. Let's read. Let's start over here and read. The source. If you ever watched the MV of Mito, Kaede, and Rin's Wa Moon Das Cry cover, a lot of you may have wondered what the deal was with this one chef guy that kept popping up in the video. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are painfully aware by now that Riku Yachtman Tazumi, the founder and current CEO of Any Color, but it's more than likely that people who got into Nijisanji from 2021 onward would be unaware that there's another individual who had a part in the founding of the company all the way back in 2017. So it wasn't just Riku. That man is Taiki Iwanaga. Iwanaga, aka Iwa, served as chief operating officer for Ichikara, now Any Color. During its early inception, he was the one responsible for recruiting Nijisanji's early talents. All this throughout 2018-2019, and even doubled as their manager for a time. Many of the popular talents that shaped Nijisanji as a brand during those first few years would not be around today if it wasn't for Iwa. Iwanaga left the company in April 2021 to pursue his own venture as he felt that Ichikara was entering a new stage in its life, where his expertise was no longer necessary. Basically got too big for him, probably. You know, it was like, there's probably deeper things inside here. Like, there could definitely be him having disagreements with Riku at this time. There could definitely be disagreements with how things were going and what direction things were going. This is all a rat in my head. This is all, you know, theory, a game theory, not just a regular theory of mine. And also sometimes when things get too big and too corporate, people don't like that and just move on to go on to smaller things. People do that all the time. I've seen that being done all the time in corporate world that I've been in. Right up until 2021, Iwanaga was the one seen as the face of Nijisanji management and was overall liked by the talents and fans who would frequently meme him right up to his departure. At the risk of being burned for heresy, I would argue that Iwanaga was probably the closest thing Nijisanji ever had to their very own Yago. So he was someone that was very respected, someone that was very well liked, someone that was you know, kind of like an uncle figure, I guess, because kind of what Yago is doing right now. What's interesting to note is that the major changes that led to the company to what they are at present took place after Iwanaga's departure. The rebranding from Ichikara to Any Color, the launch of EN Branch, the launch of the Virtual Talent Academy auditions, replacing auditions for the JP Talents, and absorption of ID and KR into the main branch, all of it took place from 2021 onward. I don't like to speculate on things, but there's a small part of me that wonders who the real brain behind that operation was. It seemed like all the good stuff was with Iwanaga, and when Iwanaga left, so did all the good stuff. Talking, it's like, oh yeah, that guy. Funny enough, I did see tweets of them with Yaimen a while back too, so I think that he really was generally good with all the talents. Also, you should all listen to the music video. JK Gumi is awesome. Pretty sure Iwanaga is still active under Blast Project, unless that one closed. Yes, and he was advisor to V Shoujo JP. Wow, that's news. That's news. He was an advisor to V Shoujo JP. Maybe that's why they're doing so well. Hard to say, but given the difficulties that Phase Connect ran into, both may have into Western upstart resistance. That and likely overestimated Keisan's recruiting power in regards to the JP scene. Yeah, that may have happened. But we're going back up to these things, and that's what I had just read. That right up until 2021, he was the guy. And that, you know, all the major changes. This is Iwanaga. A bad photo, like a crazy, like very pixelated photo. It needs more JPEG. It needs more JPEG. But this is a photo of Iwanaga. And this is the one that was done, you know, in the crazy chef guy. He was the crazy chef guy in that music video that they just mentioned before. So in order to be made into something like this and seem to be have a nickname like Iwa, it means that you had some kind of respect in the organization for you. You had some kind of love in the organization for you. I would like to think so. I would like to think he did have some love going on there. Some people did like him. And I would think that the downfall of Any Color was brought about by Riku not being controlled. I'm guessing that Iwanaga probably had a bit of more control over the company in the sense that he could be like to Riku, be like, nah, that's not a good idea. We're not going to do great with this. We're not going to do anything positive with this, and we got to stop this. So he was kind of like the control valve of Nijisanji from what I'm getting here. And the control valve was gone, and now Riku can do all the wonderful things that he's been doing. I'm being sarcastic, of course. If all Ian Livers had refrained to participate in any kind of statement about Selen's situation, let any kind of handle it, would Nijisanji EN have been stupid enough to suspend all of their livers because they didn't cooperate with the company? Because I still think it was a dumb move from the livers if they were innocent to let themselves be involved and risk their reputation. I think it was dumb. I think it was really dumb. It says, about a year ago, a JP Liver posted a statement on their private Twitter page. It's sad that everyone is trying their best to show something good, but they are treated so cruelly and seen only as tools to make money. It's like a reign of terror where people get the cold shoulder when they express their opinions. So for me, only the fans have any solace. Any color is a reign of terror. That sucks. For someone to call any color a reign of terror, you know how bad it had to have been inside. You know how horrible it had to have been inside. Here's a long one, but we're going to read it because sometimes people have interesting takes. Had they all refused, they would have gotten away with it. The problem is they were either too indoctrinated, pressured, fearful, or heartless to have enough numbers to pull that off. Had Illyra, Had Illyra, Vox, or Ike refused, they'd probably be punished, but not harshly since they're clearly favored. They then probably would have moved on to the next best candidates, I guess Luca, Shu, Anna. Had they all refused, then it would have been a mess, but still enough to punish not enough to punish all of them. They then would have still moved on to the next people, probably Alban, Uki, Sunny. They would have kept going. Had they all refused, now have come up with an excuse to explain the punishment of all of Luxium, some or most of Noxix, and some of Etheria and Illyra, and that would be most of their high earners from there. Had they had the strength and numbers to fight back, it would be much harder for Niji to fight back practically and optically. Yeah, because you can't really do things to those that are, your high earners. You can't do that. It doesn't look good. But the problem is that the first group didn't fight back, which means that there's no rally cry for anyone else to fight back had they been asked. In addition, it's possible that some of these people wouldn't have been interested in fighting back. Illyra, Luca, Anna, and Millie especially haven't shown signs of rebellion, and had less than 5 people rebel before they had a lineup of willing people. Niji could have gotten away with punishing the dissenters. And based on the rumors of distrust, rivalry, and sabotage in the company, I doubt they would have gained enough numbers to trust people to band together and rebel. It could have happened in theory, but it would have been unlikely unless at least 5 candidates stood up against being in the black video. It would have been the right thing to do, attacking someone after an attempt and possibly distressing her enough to endanger her life is not worth a paycheck. And attempting to call the company's bluff by being aware of favoritism or just accepting punishment anyways, would have been the right thing to do. But in order for them to avoid a punishment, it would have required a group of them to be better people and make that gesture together, which based on what we know of Nijisanji Ien's culture was probably not very likely. So yeah, they don't have the culture to do that. They would have been destroyed from within. The clique would have gone after them immediately, and so would have Nijisanji overall. It would not have been good in any way, shape, or form, so that's why they didn't do it. Counteractive point, whatever you want to call it. My English is weird. Of the recent Nijisanji stuff with, them being the bad folks that they are, the black company that they are, the red flag company, as someone that I respect says, Yam Albat says, red flag company, that's a good one. Idol Showdown has joined Holoindie. Hololive has made Holoindie in order to make it so that independent game makers, like fans, can make games using the IPs, Botan and all the other livers of Hololive, even Yago, etc. And they can actually monetize it, because before it was like, oh yeah, you can make a game of us, but you can't monetize it. It has to be 100% free because we own the IP. We don't want you making money off of our IP. In this case, Holo, instead of being like, no, don't do this, they're like, wait, let's work with you. Let's make it so that you give us royalties based on what you use, based on the talents. We get good publicity because we're doing this with you, because these type of games, these fan games, get really good publicity for Hololive. It's a win-win because you can finally get money for all of the hard work that you put into this whole project. We get some money because, it's our IPs. We developed the IPs. We worked hard to get the IPs to where they are now. This all works out for us. It'll work out for us big time. And it is, because now Idol Showdown is going to be having new stuff on Steam. Any future updates will be free, but they can actually get some stuff with the gotchas and other things inside of the games to make it, a little bit more palatable for themselves to make more things, Further information about the newest update is revealed at EVO Japan 2024. And it says, with this, the precedence is set that graduated library can be included in a game. Yes, because they have Kiryu Koko in the game, and I believe they also have Rushia in the game. So there are some references to Rushia in the game, too. Here's a clip of Pekora finding a couple of them. Wonder if that'll be okay or if they're having to remove it. I think it'll be fine. I honestly think it'll be fine. She finds Rushia right here, right there. She finds Rushia. Yeah, she finds Rushia right there. Yubi! Oh, there we go. There's the Rushia. Yabe. And here's the other Rushia stuff. There's Pekora, yeah, there's Pekora. But yeah, she found Rushia in there. And the cutting board too has Rushia's look to it. You see that? The cutting board. I love it when they do these things. But yeah, that's the difference between Hololive and Nijisanji. Absolutely. They're allowing these things to happen. And they will continue to allow these things to happen because it's good publicity, good PR. According to this one, it is at I guess this is Nijisanji. I'm not really too into Nijisanji, honestly, to their livers. I've really given up on them recently. And now it's going to stay at the office next to all the other really cool buttons, which, by the way, I think, okay, I know there are some people who are being like, oh my God, how come? How come the livers can't have their own button? How come they can't take that home? You know what? If you really wanted one, you just effing ask. That's cope. That's a lot of copium that this person is sniffing and like huffing. They're huffing on way too much copium gas right now. I'm pretty sure Nijisanji would be like, get your own if you really want it. I don't think that they would give it to you. The fact that no one asks, even if you could ask and get it, the fact that no one asks means that there is a climate of fear going on in Nijisanji. The fact that no one is asking to keep their play buttons means that there is a huge culture of fear inside of Nijisanji, which is not great. It's not good at all. You shouldn't have that type of fear. Yeah, it's part of TTT. Well, yeah, he's TTTing all the way into copium. Holy crap, man. He's really sniffing on that copium there. Because what? There's been like 100 livers, maybe, or even maybe 50 to 100 livers that have gotten that 100K play button. Almost all of them have, and none of them have asked for it. That's not because people don't want it. It's because there's a climate of fear in that organization. That's the only reason people stay quiet, when there's fear that something is going to happen to you. They're either going to get fired, or you're going to get suspended, or you're going to get something like that if you ask. That is just my opinion, though. That was all I had to say for today. Of course, if you have any constructive criticism, or any kind of reactions to this news, comment down below, as well as looking at my socials in the description below and the video that I have in front of you. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves and be healthy. Bye-bye.